Welcome, Middlers, to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I take you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration. I am a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual and business mentor, and of course, a psychic medium. And I am here to share my story and help you tap into your extraordinary abilities. Join me every Wednesday as we dive into the realms of intuition, energy healing, and all things mystical. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the magical waters, this podcast is your go-to source for inspiration, guidance, and a whole lot of lessons and laughter along the way. Let's get started. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 304. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle. Welcome back if you're a middler. Welcome if you are new. I share my entire journey into mediumship from episode 1. So if you are going through your own spiritual development journey, I highly recommend going back and starting at episode 1. Those first 10 episodes will be very helpful for your spiritual development. Today's episode is a continuation of episode 303, where we discussed how to know when it's time to start charging for your services. So we went through the steps of how to know it's time to start charging for your services. And today we will be discussing how to find clients. My number one question. Part 1, we talked about getting to a full hour, how to build to that, how to make sure you're offering the best possible service. And now that you have this service, you have everything ready to go, you're feeling confident. How do you find the people? We are going to talk about it in this episode. Where do I find all my clients from? So this is episode 304, and 304 holds a special place in my heart. I used to live in a building, and we were unit 304, and me and my housemates at the time, we were really into 304, so we called our house Bistro 304. For Christmas, I got everyone 304 merch. Everyone was like 304. We were known for making food and having parties and lots of wine, so it was always a good time at Bistro 304. So recording episode 304 today is a little blast from the past when I used to live in Fairmont, Staffacom, in unit 304. What a good time. Just quickly, some announcements here at Medium in the Middle HQ. Reiki trainings are booking into September. I know, you want to get in sooner. Everyone wants to get in sooner. I'm so sorry, I don't have a wait list or a cancellation list. There's only 11 students per class, which is why the classes are filling up so quickly. So if you see a date that works for you, I highly recommend booking it in. Same thing with the mediumship practice circles. They have been selling out. So if you see one that you want to join, make sure you grab it. There is a mediumship practice circle tomorrow, April 23rd. It'll probably be the last evening circle for a while. It's at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. There's only a few spots left in that. And this weekend, I am hosting the Advanced Reiki Practitioner Masterclass on April 25th. I host this masterclass once a year, and you will get the replay and access to the replay for 1 year. I designed this for people who want to work in Reiki. So I noticed a very big gap between Reiki level 2 and actually working in Reiki. There is so much more to learn. There is so much more client experience, advanced energy techniques, learning how to give the best experience, what we're talking about today. So if you are a Reiki level 2 practitioner from any master, from any lineage, you can take this course if you are interested in working in Reiki. If you aren't interested in working with clients, then you don't need this course. But if you are interested in growing your clientele, it'll cost you less than what you make on 4 clients. Registration will be open until April 24th. As always, all the links you need will be down below in the show notes. So let's jump right into today's topic, which is where to find paying clients. I want to talk about this in 3 stages because I have received a few questions, so I'm going to use those as our markers. Where did your first few months or years of paid clients come from? So when I first started doing Reiki, I was doing it out of my home, and then I started to work at a spa. So a lot of places will hire you and they will find the clients. And then I moved to subleasing a place where I would have it for a few days a week from somebody else. And then I moved to my own lease. So when I was first working out of my home, it was friends and family. And then it was friends of friends, my best friend's brother, my best friend's brother's girlfriend, my best friend's brother's girlfriend's mom. So I received a lot of referrals. And as you guys know from the podcast, I was doing a lot of mediumship as well at the time. So it kind of spread like wildfire where, oh, my mom would really like this. Oh, my best friend would really like this. Oh, my neighbor would really like this. Okay, send them. Okay, send them. So I worked on kind of 3 degrees of separation when it was from my home. Once I moved to Banff, I had to fully build my clientele because I just moved across the country away from all my friends and family. So that is when I started working at a spa. So I went on a list and I worked at a spa and they would find the clients. So this is a very good option when you're looking at building your clientele and getting known in your community. So Banff is a very transient town, so there was a lot of people who didn't live here. So again, it was a slower build because people were maybe just here for a weekend and booked a Reiki session, or they were just visiting and booked a Reiki session. But getting involved in your community is very, very important. You have to be known in your community. So my focus when I moved to Banff was get involved in the community. You need people to know who you are. You need to leave your house. You need to go to events. You need to go to community events. There was 1 year where I got a yoga pass. Number one, because I really needed yoga in my life again. I used to be a yoga teacher, and then life got busy, and I stopped teaching yoga because Medium in the Middle got busy. But I was like, you know what? I need to be involved in the community. I need yoga back into my life, and this will be a good way to integrate into the community. So I went to 3 yoga classes a week, and my intention was to talk to people, meet people, say hi to people, let people know what I do in town. And it was my version of community outreach. I go to events in Banff. So if someone is playing music, I'll go to their event. If someone is doing a book launch, I'll go to their event. If someone is, releasing their art at a coffee shop, I'll go to their event and support them. So I try to very much be in my community so people know who I am. So I highly recommend that you get involved in your community. People need to know who you are. They need to see you, especially when it comes to energy work. They need to trust you. So you need to build trust with your community before they just buy from you. People don't buy from you the first time they see you. They need many touch points with you. They need to see you many times. And also, from the length of time that you meet someone to when they become a client, that can be months or years. Not days, not weeks. So you're laying the groundwork for 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 2 years from now. Even when people now take my Reiki courses, they'll say, oh, I've been listening to your podcast for 4 years. Oh, I found you 2 years ago. Oh, I took a class with you in Banff 6 months ago. They don't say, I've been listening to your podcast for a week. They don't say, I saw you in Banff a week ago, 2 weeks ago, last month. No, it was 5 months ago. So in the spiritual realm, we are not gas and we are not groceries. People do not need us, and they forget that they need energy healing, mediumship readings, card readings. We're kind of the last thing on the list. So you really have to be top of mind to actually get someone to book an appointment. They need to remember you. They need to remember to book. They need to find the time. They need to have the money, and then they need to book, which is why you have to be relevant and they have to see you often, however that is, in the community, on social media, whatever you're doing. Releasing a weekly podcast, you have to be in their face to be like, hey, did you need some Reiki? Hey, how's your energy feeling? Are you needing some Reiki? And not that I'm saying that to people, but when people see me, it's like, oh yeah, you do Reiki. I got to book in. Oh, I've been meaning to come see you. I got to book in. Oh, Steph, I was just thinking about you. I need to book in. Those are the things you want to jog people's memory of like, oh yeah, I wanted to book with you. So the next question that I get asked a lot is, how did I start my Reiki business and putting myself out there and advertising? So my biggest form of advertising is this right here, my podcast. So my podcast gives me the largest reach, and it's also something I've been the most consistent with. And it is also a way for people to get to know me and trust me and see if they would like to work with me. There was over 300 podcast episodes you can listen to before you book with me. I have been releasing a weekly podcast episode for almost 7 years. And for the first year of the podcast, I don't sell you anything. There's nothing you can buy. There's nothing you can book with me. I didn't have a website yet. I was just telling you my story. So by the time you've listened to 50 episodes and then I say, oh, hey guys, I started a website. Oh, I now offer Reiki. Oh, I now offer Reiki trainings. Everyone's like, wow, I've been listening to you for 50 episodes, however long it took them to listen to that. There's built some trust. I've been delivering, hopefully, useful information to help you on your spiritual development. And now you want more from me. So a very big piece as well of marketing is you can't just sell. It's not buy from me, hey, buy from me, hey, buy from me, hey, book this thing, hey, buy this thing. No, you have to give value. It's value, value, value. Hey, in case you want to buy this, value, value, helpful information, helpful tips, reasons to follow me, reasons to listen to me. Oh, I also sell this if you want. Value, value. There has to be value for you. You're not just giving someone your money for no reason. Especially in the spiritual space, you have to build trust. So finding a way for you to build trust with your audience. Again, being in community, having people know you, you showing up for other people. If you want people to support you, you have to support them. I talk a lot about being a villager. If you want a village, you have to be a villager. And that is something that I really try to put a lot of my energy into, mainly because I live in Banff. I'm across the world from all my family, and so is everyone in Banff. Everyone is kind of a nomad. We don't have family here, so we just have each other. So you have to show up for other people. When someone does an event, you go. When it's someone's birthday, you show up. When someone's doing a launch, you support them. When someone has a baby, you cook food for them. When someone's moving, you help them move. It's just the community that we have. Everybody shows up for everybody because we don't have family. So we built our family. We created our family here. So even in a small town, there is lots of opportunities. There are Reiki practitioners a dime a dozen. On my floor in my building, there are 4 Reiki practitioners. So, it's just about standing out from the crowd, going back to episode 303, offering the best possible service so they come back to you. So the ways that I find my clients the most are from my podcast, number 1, and then number 2 is referrals. I get a lot of referrals. Again, I try to offer the best possible service. I want you to love your experience. I want to over-deliver. I always want to go above and beyond as much as I can. Customer service is very, very, very important to me. I want everyone to have a great experience. And then I want you to talk about that great experience. I want you to tell your best friend. I want you to tell your mom. I want you to tell your neighbor. And then those people will come. Referrals should be your number 1 focus because that is going to be the best way to grow your business. People trust those people. When your mom tells you, hey, this girl was great. When your best friend tells you, hey, you got to go see this person. When your coworker says, oh my God, guess what I did this weekend? I had the most amazing Reiki session. That is your best form of advertising. And the last point that I want to discuss is advertising and marketing. There is no secret sauce to advertising and marketing. You are either paying for ads or you're doing all the marketing yourself. And this is finding ways to be in front of your ideal audience as much as possible. So I always recommend you want there to be at least 10 places that people can find you. So to give you some examples of where people can find me, my podcast, through the community. If you put posters up, business cards, whatever that might be. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Substack. I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Pinterest. These are all different ways that people can find you. The more ways people can find you, the more access to clients you have. And just being in front of clients doesn't mean they're going to book. You want to also pay attention to, okay, if you're in front of 100 people, Does 2 people book with you? Because just being in front of 100 people doesn't mean 100 people are booking with you. I find it's about 5 to 6% for me. So that means if I'm in front of 100 people, when I do retreats, when I do presentations, if I'm speaking to 100 people, I can expect about 5 to 6 clients on average. So I know if I need 20 clients, that means I need to be in front of 400 of my ideal clients. That's using the analogy of I'm at a retreat speaking in front of 100 people who are interested in what I'm talking about. If I'm speaking to 100 people who are not my ideal clients, then that number is much lower. And you guys know I'm a Capricorn, so I'm going to hit you with some math here. And I don't mean to burst any bubbles, but this is a hard reality that I don't think people think of. If you are a Reiki practitioner and you want to see 3 to 4 clients a day, let's say on average 20 clients a week, we're going to assume people come back twice a year. Some people are more, some people are less. We're going to assume you take a few weeks off for vacation. You need approximately 500 clients to be full-time. It's probably more like 700, but 500 is your base. If you are a medium who does mediumship readings where people maybe only come to you once a year or they only come to you once in a lifetime, let's say you do less readings a day. Let's say you do 2 readings a day, 10 readings a week, times 50 weeks because you're taking 2 weeks off. Again, that's 500 clients every year. So this year you need 500 clients. Next year you need 500 new clients. Next year you need 500 new clients. Okay, you have some repeating clients. Now you need 450 new clients. So if you are offering something that people only do once or very rarely, for example, card readings, mediumship readings, even Reiki, people usually come once every few months. If they remember, if they have the time, if they have the money. So your goal should be around 700 new clients a year. That's fully booked, which goes back to marketing and advertising. And I'm sharing this to try to be truthful. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. I like to be realistic of how I built my business and what I do on an everyday basis to find 500 to 700 new clients every year. I personally spend between 2 to 3 hours a day on marketing. Every day, 5 to 6 days a week. What does that mean? That means 2 hours of my day minimum is dedicated to Facebook, Instagram, writing a Substack, being on TikTok, showing up on YouTube, recording, editing, releasing this podcast, advertising for this podcast, letting people know about the podcast, outreach, doing things in my community. Because I don't pay for advertising, because I don't pay for ads, because I don't pay for it, that means I'm investing my time. So 2 hours every day is invested to marketing. When I'm busier, then I can do less marketing, of course, but I'm always marketing for 6 months from now. So I'm not marketing for tomorrow, I'm marketing for September. As you heard, Reiki courses are booking into September. But I still need to find clients for September, October, November, December, January. So I need to be laying the groundwork now. And when I tell people this, I don't think they realize how much work goes into it if you're not paying for ads. If you have lots of money and you can run ads, that's great. Do ads work in the spiritual space? I'm not sure because of how much trust you need with the person. But your options are your time or your money. So what am I doing for those 2 hours a day? I am posting, making videos, writing emails, doing email marketing. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm commenting back on people, I'm creating connections. So my goal is to post 10 to 15 times a day across all platforms. And again, when I tell people this, they're like, what? Wouldn't that annoy people? Wouldn't people unfollow you? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Guys, the internet is a crazy place. Your stuff maybe lasts for 24 hours, maybe 12, probably an hour. So yes, I post 10 to 15 times a day. I guarantee you don't see that. You maybe see 1. You might see 2. You probably see zero. If you're only posting once a week, once a day, now how are you getting in front of those 400 people a day? So to find clients, you need to cast a very big net. The more people you can get in front of, the higher likelihood you are to find clients. But it is marketing, marketing, marketing. And you're always marketing for the future, not 2 weeks from now, think 6 months from now. So it's always a rolling ball. And then the one business tip that I will throw into this is if you don't have the 700 clients, what are other ways that you're making money? Are you doing retreats? Are you doing events? Are you doing workshops? Are you teaching a course? What are you doing to make money instead of just one-on-one clients? So that's the business side of things. So these are all things that I teach in the business course that I run once a year. It's usually in October, and it will be in October this year. I love business so much. So once a year, I let myself teach on it and share all of these things. But you also need to be great at what you do and a good business person. I love the business aspect of things. I love numbers. I love stats. I love knowing things. I love figuring out how much I need to grow the business. You guys know I love end of month, end of year, end of quarter. I love figuring out how much money I need to make, how much more I need to manifest, how much do I want to build, what do I need? All of those things I really, really, really enjoy. Again, if you don't enjoy those things, you can pay other people to do them. But until your business is making money, I highly recommend you do everything yourself until you can start to outsource. So I've avoided making this episode for a long time because I don't want this to feel like I'm bursting your bubble, but I do want it to be a dose of reality of how much hard work growing a business is, how many clients you actually need to sustain yourself. Also, your business expenses will take like 50% of your income. So also realizing that, I know it's like, oh, you make $100 an hour. That doesn't go in your pocket. So being aware again of how much it costs you to run your business, what is your overhead. So I want this episode to encourage you to cast a big net. I made a podcast episode many years ago called Throw Your Seeds. And the idea was you need to throw your seeds everywhere for your trees to grow. And it takes time for your trees to grow. You need to tell people about you. You need to shout it from the rooftops. You need to be out in your community. You need to be in front of people. You need to show your face, talk about what you do, talk about behind the scenes, share things about your life. Especially in the spiritual space, people want to get to know you. Yes, card readers are a dime a dozen. Reiki people are a dime a dozen. But what makes you special? Why is someone booking with you? That's why there's room for everybody, is because everyone is unique. Everyone is offering their own service. And then you're going to offer the best possible service. People are going to fall in love with you. They're going to become a regular client. They're going to refer all their friends. And your business is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. But it does start small, and then it takes time to grow to 700 clients a year. So that's why I recommend, if you can work out of your house, that's great to start. If you can work virtually, that's perfect. Going and working for someone else who already has an established business, an established clientele, a booking system, a website, insurance, a location, supplies, all of that is very helpful to just get out and work with strangers. So a lot of spas will hire you, a lot of wellness centers, you can get on a list. And then you can look into, subleasing a space a few days a week. Sharing a space with someone else is a great idea before getting your own lease. I am very conservative when it comes to business, so I would say I grow slowly. I don't like to throw myself in the deep end and then just see what happens. I want to fill up my 2 days a week before I add another day a week. I want to fill things up before I add another one. So I would say I took the slow route where I really wanted to ensure that I was setting myself up for success. And I grew this over years. I started doing Reiki in 2018. It is 2026. This has been a very, very long road. When I repeat things like, I work 6 to 7 days a week, I try to just be very honest and forthcoming about how much work this takes. I'm not just saying that. I'm saying it to be like, hey, for the first 3 years, I worked 7 days a week. That's not an exaggeration. That is 7 days a week. I was doing 2 hours of marketing a day minimum, often much more, because you don't have the clients at the beginning. So you need to be out there throwing your nets so that you're growing your clients. So if you take anything away from this, I hope it is encouragement to not stop. Shout it from the rooftops. Be everywhere. Post the story, post the reel, post the TikTok, write the Substack, show up wherever you feel like your ideal clients are. That's where you want to be. And you want to be in front of their face as often as possible, giving them value, value, value. Make them laugh, teach them something, share something they'd be interested to know. This is how people are going to learn how to trust you. And this is what's going to give you that lasting customer retention to get people coming back over and over again. Even if it is once a year, even if it is once every 6 months, any returning customer is amazing. That is great, great, great news for your business. So I could yap about this for hours, but I will not. I love business. I love numbers, I love analytics, I love stats, I love percentages, all of this stuff I really enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, learn to love it or find someone to help you if you do have the cash flow. I hope you found that helpful, and maybe it also took some pressure off of you to build slowly, to take your time. I hope it also encouraged you to throw your nets, be everywhere, don't be afraid to show up, start posting. And you're only going to get better when you start to do things. I wasn't good at any of this stuff when I started. I was good at it after doing it 500 times. So just start, especially if no one's seeing your stuff. That's a great time to start because you're going to learn and you're going to get better and you're going to improve and you're going to learn what works and what doesn't work. For example, I remember I used to never show my face. And the first time I showed my face on Instagram, that post got 400% more views. And what did that teach me? If I want 400% more views, I need to show my face. Okay, my face is now in everything. So can you do it without showing your face? You can. I believe it would be harder and longer. People need to get to know you in the spiritual world. They're coming for a mediumship reading from you. They want a card reading from you. They want Reiki from you because they like you. They like how you do it. They like what you offer. They get a great service every time they come and see you. They're going to come back and they're going to tell their friends. So get out there and throw your seeds and cast your nets and get in front of hundreds of people. Don't be afraid. We all do it. It's just part of marketing. And it will become more comfortable. You will get better at it. And it does get so much easier. That's all that I have for you this week, Middlers. As always, I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes. If you want to follow me on Substack, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on my email list, on my website, on my podcast, all of the things are down below. But until next Wednesday, Middlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.